I think we are live.
I think so too. We're going to hope for the best because technology isn't always my friend. Hi,
take it away.
Hey guys, it's Jamie. I am coming to you guys live with my friend Heather DeChico tonight, and we are coming together because we both felt extremely compelled to share some information with you guys that we know you need to know, and we have a feeling it's going to send you all run into your medicine cabinet. So I'll tell you first how Heather and I met. We met several years ago through a company that we both did health and wellness coaching with at the time. And our inner science nerd hearts connected at the heart level because since Heather was a little girl, her family has owned and operated health food stores. And I have been in the nutrition industry since 2001 when I graduated with my bachelor's degree in food and nutrition. So in the last 20 something years, we have both seen recommendations and trends evolve over the years as advances are made in research, and recent studies show some very interesting information that we wanted to pass on to our friends. Because the reason that we wanted to come on here tonight and just share this with you guys is because we know that you don't know what you don't know. But as advances are made in this industry and studies show us a better way of doing things, then we're able to make some adjustments in how we approach our health and our wellness, because when you know better, then you can do better. And so Heather and I still coach together in the health and wellness arena with a company that is cutting edge in regards to their commitment to providing guidance and direction for people who are looking to just live a healthier life, to feel better, to perform better, to wake up better. And so this company does offer and sell products that we love that are formulated in a way that our body will best absorb them and process them so that we can use them. And Heather's going to talk to you a little bit more about that tonight because she's a genius in that area. And I wanted her to come on here and share with my friends because I wanted you guys to hear what she had to say. You're going to be pulling all of your products out of your cabinets and checking your labels. But the one thing that I love the most about this company we are a part of is that they offer something incredible for free. And that is a health assessment that gives you all the nitty-gritty details about what your body needs specifically. And so I'm more than glad to share that with you if you're interested in finding out more about the health assessment and all that it can tell you. Heather and I just got back from a training with this company, and we both were talking in our hotel room, and we just felt really compelled to come home and share it with our friends what we learned, because we realized that some of you may unknowingly be causing harm when you think you're doing good. We've both been there before, and we want to keep you from going there. So wanted to just jump on here tonight and share a little info with you guys. That health assessment I was talking about is completely free, takes into account numerous factors, including your personal diagnoses, what medications you take, how you live your life, your exposure to certain chemicals, and so much more. It takes a lot into account. And then it spits back some recommendations for your specific vitamin and mineral needs based on your answers. But what I love the most is that it also blocks any vitamins and minerals that are contraindicated for you, meaning that it will not let you purchase any supplements or products that would cause a harmful reaction in your body when mixed with the medications that you take. So for instance, if you have high blood pressure, it's not going to let you purchase magnesium or vitamin D, even if your other answers indicate that you need those supplements. It's going to block it so you don't have any adverse reactions. If you're on blood thinners like Coumadin, it's not going to allow you to purchase vitamin C or vitamin E, because taking those supplements with your medication could cause you some harm. And many people don't realize this, and they mix their medications and their supplements, not realizing that they should not do that. And so this hits incredibly close to home for Heather. So I'm going to pass this to her for just a second, because I want her to share with you why this matters so much to her and why it's such a passion of hers to get the word out about making sure you consume the right products the right way. So Heather, I'm going to pass it off to you.
Man, thank you, Jamie. I mean, I'm like, okay, I could go on for at least an hour about this subject. And, you know, what immediately comes to mind is, why are we taking nutritional supplements? Well, it's to fill a nutritional gap, right? When you have a condition, you need those nutritional supplements more than, you know, if you don't have that condition, right? Because that condition is taking away some of the nutrients from your body. So your need to supplement increases when you have something going on. But what ends up happening, right, is if we take medications, all of a sudden we think we can't take a single nutritional supplement. I saw that year after year after year in the health food store, people afraid, what if this counteracts with my medication? And that is a valid concern, 10,000%. But now science and technology have finally come together to answer that question, that you don't have to worry. We can enter the medications and the database is there to know to kick out the vitamin K if you're on Coumadin, or kick out what Jamie just said, like you can't get it. And that just lets me, for my parents and for my family and for anyone that I share this with, I just get to rest my head on the pillow well at night, because what a level of security that I never knew existed in the entire health and wellness world. So that is just so huge. But even bigger than that, or I guess not bigger, but just as big, is what goes into these supplements. There are synthetic, cheap versions of vitamins that do nothing but go down the toilet, literally. And then there are nutritional supplements that your body can use. And which one do you want? And I say, if your body can't use it, I don't care how cheap it is, you're still wasting money. And the more and more we learn about this, Jamie and I learned so much cool stuff this weekend. Here's an example of my vitamins. They have my name on them, right? Because they're a result of a questionnaire just for me. So first right here, this B complex. This B complex has in it the form of B12 that my body can absorb, and not the form that's cheap synthetic and actually a derivative of cyanide in its delivery system. Yes, that's what I said, cyanide. To get sciencey for a minute, there's really two major forms of B12 out on the market. 99% of the time, you're going to see cyanocobalamin, and about 1% of the time, you're going to see methylcobalamin. And I know back in the health food store, there was only one company that would use the methyl. And don't you know, it's what we've got in here, methylcobalamin. So the B12 in my ID Nutrition is going to work, my body's going to be able to use it as opposed to another that doesn't. So that is true for every ingredient in here. But a really interesting fact that it really is brand new to me, I had never heard this before. Did you know that amino acids, your amino acid complex is either vegan or not vegan? Okay, so how is it not vegan, right? I think I've always just never thought that it wouldn't be just a vegan product. Well, we just get cheap forms of even the good branched chain amino acids. One way they can get them is by high heating at a very high level and putting an acid type mixture on duck feathers. I mean, that just kind of freaks me out. So they take those duck feathers and they put acid on them and they make them really hot. And somehow they're able to pull off, it's like L-leucine and valine, I think. There's 3 major amino acids. There's that, or there's the top quality type, which is fermented and vegan. So I am very thankful to know that the branched chain amino acids that I take and that Jamie uses in the form of lean, this is an unflavored powder that I put in my drink twice a day, is the vegan non-duck feather amino acid. So that is truly, I had never heard that. I had never thought of that. And believe me, if I'd ever heard that, I would have remembered that. So that's really 2 really cool nuggets. Like I said, I could go on and on and on, but it matters. The quality of ingredients matters. Otherwise, you're wasting your money and you're not getting the benefit that you went after to begin with. So I think Jamie's got another really good one for you now.
Yes, one more, because these 3 that we were talking about tonight is because we wanted to come to you guys and share this with you, because we have so many friends in our life who take B vitamins or want to get vitamin B12 shots. We have so many friends who take branched chain amino acids, especially if they're trying to build muscle and they're working out. And then I also have a lot of friends who use folic acid. And so I wanted to come in here tonight and talk to you about that, especially because there are 2 types of, well, there's several types, but the 2 main types of folic acid, folate, is folate and folic acid. And so there is a difference there. And so what's the deal with that? Why are there 2 different names? Well, folate is a B vitamin. It's actually vitamin B9 to be exact. And so what B9 does is it helps our bodies convert our food into fuel, which produces energy. And it also helps our body create new cells. So if you've ever been pregnant or you're trying to conceive, which is basically your body is creating new cells if you're pregnant, right? You've probably heard of folic acid. So folic acid is the synthetic form of folate, and it's been especially recommended for years by physicians to those who are pregnant or trying to get pregnant. It's also added to foods through something called fortification, because many years back it was discovered that in America we often don't get in enough of vitamin B9. So they decided, our government decided, that they would add it to our foods. And back then that seemed like a really great idea. But remember, development, research, as we learn more, we know we learn better, we can do better. You know, we've discovered that may not have always been the best idea, right? So it's still in many of your foods you eat today. You're going to find folic acid in breads, pastas, rices, and that's kind of something you really need to be super aware of, because this folic acid is the synthetic form of folate. So why did our government choose to use a synthetic over the real deal? And it's because folic acid is synthetically created so that it can be heat stable, so it can withstand the process of being cooked in your pasta, your bread, when you make toast, everything. So here's the problem with that though. Our bodies cannot actually really use folic acid very well. It has to be broken down into something called methylfolate first. So if you hear anybody talk about methylated vitamins, minerals, there's some research I would recommend you do on that for yourself. So if we're consuming folic acid, our body still has to convert it to methylfolate before our body can actually use it. So unfortunately, the reality is it's pretty difficult for our body to metabolize the synthetic folic acid. So what happens is, as we're consuming folic acid, whether that's through a supplement that we were recommended or whether that's through the food we're eating or both, it keeps piling up in our body that results in an overload of unmetabolized folate. It's just sitting there in our system. And since it's not getting converted to what it needs to be converted to, which is methylfolate, it just sits there unused, blocking all our receptors in our body. And it's crazy, but we end up with a folate deficiency instead, which is the exact thing we were trying to prevent in the first place. So we think we're doing a good thing, supplementing with folic acid, but we're really causing more harm than good, because that unmetabolized folic acid, it can cause immune dysfunction, increased risk of cancers. And you know, this was something that I decided to come on live about because many of my friends and their kiddos or their family members carry something called the MTHFR mutation. And I felt really compelled to go live with tonight just to let you know that you need to know if you're carrying that, what you're consuming, especially. Everyone should be cautious. Always choose folate over folic acid every time, whether you have a mutation or not. But if you do carry the MTHFR mutation, you need to really be especially concerned with what you are consuming. If you do need to know if you carry this mutation, because 30 to 40% of the population does. And so this only makes unmetabolized folic acid worse in your body. So because if you do carry the MTHFR mutation, your body can't convert folate into its methylated form at all, not even a little bit. So it truly does build up in your system, causing so many health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, dementia, clotting disorders, depression, anemia, anxiety, neurological changes. And so I want to urge you tonight to check your labels on both your foods and your supplements. Quit taking anything that contains folic acid. I would be glad to look at them if you want to message them to me. Just know what you're consuming. I want to encourage you to do your research, because not all supplements are created equal. And you really need to take a really good look at this, whether you have MTHFR or not, but especially if you do. If you don't know if you carry that mutation or not, I can connect you to a very affordable test that will tell you that. It will also give you so much more in regards to what your body needs genetically, as far as your nutrition goes, your exercise needs, your supplementation. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, that health assessment is completely free. And I would be glad to shoot you over a link to take that as well if you want to get started with that. But Heather and I really hope that this information tonight is helpful for you guys to just understand the importance of flipping it over and reading your ingredient labels. Take the time to educate yourself, do your research, and just know that if you have questions about anything we talked about tonight, you can shoot me a private message or a text if you have my phone number. We're more than glad to help guide you, or at least try to look at what you have your hands on and see if we can't find a better solution for you. So guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope it was helpful for you. Have a good night.